Welcome to lesson 2.5. This lesson is going to be covering getting user input. This is in the Intro to Python course still. So this is going to cover, like I said, how you can get input from the user, which basically allows users to actually interact with your program and put in information that you request from them. So here's an example of a flow you might see to get input and like how it might work. Say you have a program called main.py. You can run it python main.py. Then it prints out, hello user, welcome to the rectangle area calculator. Please enter a width, then a height. Then ask them to enter each one. And then it displays the area of a rectangle with a width of 10 and a height of 25 is 250. Obviously, this is extremely powerful because it allows your users to have control over how the program is running and works. So to get this in Python, in input, you use the input command and you put a string in here inside of the parentheses of what you want to display. So for example, here it would be like enter width, tab. And when you ask for the input, the program will wait for the user to enter something before it proceeds with the rest of it. Then you can assign this input to a variable, and by default, inputs are stored as strings. So if you want them as an integer or a float, you'll have to cast them to something else. Here's an example. So here you ask for a name. Hello, what's your name? New line, and then this character, and then it prints out hello and then their name. So when you run it, you see it'll run that input line, hello, what is your name? Then have a little input box here. In a terminal, it'll just wait. It won't have a specific box, but it will just have like the prompt area where someone can type something in. So let me type in like Max, and then it will say hello Max because Max is assigned to the variable name. So if you want to get other input from, aside from strings, you need to convert it and typecast it. And I covered that before. Here's an example of doing this to get the string input, integer input, floating point input, and this works the same for any type of casting. So then I just down here I have all of the things printed out with their types right here, which will basically just say if it's an integer, float, string, whatever. So what is your name? Max. Enter a number, 16. Enter a floating point, 1.2. And then you see the value, Max, is a class string, 16 is an integer class, 1.2 is a floating point class. So for like this example, you would have to convert them to either floating point or integers. And I'm actually going to build out this example right now. So let me actually just copy this real quick so I can have it for reference down here. And then just paste it like this for now. So the first thing that's going to say is this right here, the program. So that's just a print statement, which we covered in the last section. Then enter a width, and that would just be width equals input. And we want to convert it to an integer, so it would actually be integer input enter width. And if we want the same formatting of this, then it's just a /t to get that tab. And then that's the end for that one. Make sure to close those parentheses. And then height equals int input enter height. Make sure I spell it right there. Make sure to close the parentheses. And then now we should have integer values in the width and the height. And if we want to print out what the area of the rectangle is, like in the bottom, we can go just copy this real quick. Do an F string here, and then replace this one with width and this one with height. Oops, wrong one. And then this is going to be the width times the height, which we can just do here in the F string conveniently. So now if I run this, by the way, this up here is a comment. One of the upcoming lessons will cover comments and show you how to make these. They're pretty simple. This just doesn't get ran, just like where it says example here when you run a program. So if I run this, please enter a width and a height. Also, I don't know why these are different, but that doesn't matter too much, I guess. So enter width 10, 25. The area of a rectangle with a width of 10 and a height of 25 is 250, which is exactly what was output here. So yeah, guys, that's how you do input in Python. This is how you can get user information into your programs for you to use with them and build off of. See you guys in the next lesson. I believe the next one is covering arithmetic. So see you guys then.